Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines 2, where last episode we finished the elevation of our highways, and of course we're beginning development on these two areas over here. Now those definitely do need a fair amount of work, and we're going to do exactly that by bringing this guy in over here, like that. There we go. That'll do for now, and this highway really should be extended northwards here. So that'll end up coming out over this way, and it will eventually connect in right up over here, right? So that would be fine. It would eventually also connect here, in theory. And then it would come up over here where things get very awkward due to the dam. So for now, we may actually just have it terminate there. That may be okay for the moment. Let's see if we have any issues with roundabouts here. None there. No issue there. Beautiful. So that'll do. At that point then, what I want to do is I want to extend our road this direction. That looks correct. Yes, and I want to just get these all linked up over here. So straight on in over this way. This is... Hang on a moment. I did this wrong. Okay. Let's make sure we're snapped to the correct lane here. That would help. Okay, and then we bring this guy on in over here. That's looking significantly better. There we go. We're, of course, going to need to get some on-off ramps going over here, and that will be the next goal after we get this section of roads done. So this is now going to be, what, 230 meters is our target length here, I think? Well, what we can do is we can take this out to go down one, right about here, and then we can take it out 112 meters from there. Hang on, that's going underground. I didn't want this to go out underground. Let's try that again. Okay. So this guy connects up, not underground. So this is 122 meters here. I don't want you to snap to the existing geometry. So we're going to turn that off. That's 112 there. But we need to take this over to be about here. That's an additional 18 meters. And then now we need this to go 112. So it goes approximately here, right? And we can check to see how close we are. We probably aren't all that close. Actually, that's pretty much bang on. Phenomenal. So that's great. We can then bring this right on over to here. Yep, that looks perfect. Cool. And we can just continue to bring this right on up. Now we can do the same thing up over here where we can base this position off of this, although turn snapping back on. So one of the annoying things about this is when we right click, it moves. But what we can do to fix that is we can stretch this road up until it goes right about here. There we go. And then we can connect this guy in right here and determine that it goes there, right? So then we can bring this over to approximately here, and then we can extend this up because we have guidelines for all of these positionings now. So that's absolutely phenomenal. And then we can bring this in over here. And there we go. We've got guidelines for all of that now. Perfect. What we don't, of course, have is guidelines for in here. So, how are we going to fix that? For the moment, we're not. We're only working on these two blocks for right now, and we're just getting some guidelines blocked out for this up here. So for the moment, that's all great. What I want to do now is I want to take these roads straight on out to the city limits. So right about there. And then we can extend these roads northward out to at least here. Bare minimum. They'll need to go further eventually, but that'll do. So somewhere around there. And then this guy can come out at least to here. And this road would come out similarly to at least here. 89 and 180? What are these measurements? That's 90 and 90. Okay, sure. We'll build it there. I guess that works. And then this would go out to the city limits like that. And then this guy would come on up to at least a bare minimum of here. Looks good. We can do the same sort of thing out over here where we build this road straight on out. And it would connect in there. It is connecting to this riverside road. So that's okay. We then bring this guy on in right there. That gives us overlapping items, presumably due to pillars. And now this doesn't look as straight. Okay, let's take that out for now. And let's run this road northward up to at least here. Pillars. Okay. Pillars are obnoxious. We can do that, though. So that'll do for now. Phenomenal. We can bring this guy out over here. Once again, we are running into pillars where we want this to be. But there we go. That kind of works. I don't know that that works. Hang on. I'm going to take this back out of here for now. This is good to go. We just need to get some additional on-off ramps going, right? And I do want to connect this in out over here. So I'll do exactly that for now. And then we'll get this road built out over to here. There we go. Now then, this guy should come straight up to here, right there approximately. And it's good enough. That'll do for now. Right about here. Cool. And then this guy would come up right about here. There we go. Now we need our horizontal roads. So this guy would come in here. Overlapping items means that we can bring it in here instead. We're going to have to deal with our pillar here. No doubt about that. Was that correct? I'm not sure that was in the right lane there. Right here is where we want to take this out. Cool. Overlapping items here. So we just take it out to... Both of these are considered 90. Okay, that's awkward. We would take it out to about here, and in theory that would connect here, but yeah, you can see that's slightly awkward, but it's okay. It is okay. So there's definitely pillars in the way of where we want to be here. So we're going to take out this section of highway, and then we're going to build in this road like that. That definitely goes pretty steeply underground there, but it's fine for the moment. Or not really underground, but it cuts deeply into that hill. Okay, so we would bring this guy down then like this. Yes. Cool. So something along the lines of that is what we're angling for. Next up, we would need to do our on-off ramps here. So let's get those done here. This should be relatively basic. So we would bring this guy out over here, about like that, and then about like this. Maybe snapping a bit too much to the angle there. Yeah, about like that-ish. And then we would have one up over here. And then one over here. Cool. So something about like that. We can do the same thing up over here to get this meta block completed. So that'll be great. That'll give us a source of... We'll probably have one of these be medium and one of these be low-density residential. We definitely need both. There's a significant demand for both right now. So we'll do something about like that for the moment. And then up over here, something about like that. And like... I don't love the angling, but okay. Something about like that. That'll do. Now we can do the same thing on this highway over here. No major problems here. It's the other one that's going to be awkward. So we'll just lift this on up over here. Fantastic. No problem there. And then over here, same sort of situation. We're getting like overlapping items here, but it doesn't love that. I think because this highway is getting so very low here. I'm going to take that out, and we're going to rebuild this section of highway. So we would put that right about here. And that guy would go... I just want to be from this angle. There we go. Something kind of like that. Now we don't get quite so low there. That'll be perfect. Curve tool. Angle snapping. There we go. This is definitely much better. Cool. So we'll bring that up and in, up over here, and then down and in over here. That'll do. And then the... What am I doing? What indeed? This is not where this goes. Okay. That's horrible. We're going to try this again up over here. There we go. And slope too steep, but we could do it here. That'll work. Cool. Now, this highway is the one where things are going to get weird. I think that we can manage to get ourselves an off-ramp up over here. That's too high. Off over here. Yeah, that slope too steep. So it's going to have to be like back here. Overlapping items. Even that's a 20% grade. Okay, so the reason for that, of course, is that this falls off extraordinarily sharply, right? So we could certainly do an on-ramp over here. That's not going to be a problem on this side. It's the off-ramp over on this side that's going to be a problem. That's giving us slope too steep right there. Yeah. And we can see that we're going to need a pretty hefty ramp here if we're going to do that. So we might need to actually have it come off over here and give it like as much space as possible.
What kind of future
Even that's too much. We're going to have to terraform this area. Okay.
Well,
so I'm going to eliminate that area, and we're going to grab our level terrain tool, and we're just going to level all of this up for now. We'll fix this in a moment. But for now, that will do, and we need to bring this road in to at least here. There we go. And then this would need to then be an on-ramp, or actually this is the off-ramp. So curve tool, yes, that all looks approximately correct. We bring it in about like that, and then we have a bit of a problem, right? Because I'm willing to bet that that's going to be slope too steep. And yes, it is. So that's not shocking. What we're going to need to do here is rebuild this section of the Riverside Road. So that'll be okay. We can definitely do that. That will just come on up and in, kind of like this. Then we can bring in our road here and connect that about like this. But now, obviously, we've got a problem, right? And that problem is this terrain is nutty. We don't want this terrain to be nutty. So we're going to soften this on out of here. I'm trying to affect the actual coastline as minimally as possible. So we'll do something about like that. And this road is now probably a bit too high. But I want to bring it down to be about here. Yeah, that's like a 30-degree grade. Or 30% grade, rather. So that is very unsurprising that we have that happening. So I would like to bring this guy out and in like that. That elevates this up reasonably, and hopefully that will allow us to bring this road in. That's still about a 28% grade. Okay. We may not be able to have this connect up here. Or the other option is that we slope terrain tool here. Let's see. How does this work? Can we set like a particular grade? It evens out the terrain height between the terraformed area and the target height. So how is that different from the level terrain tool? It seems fairly similar. But I guess we could create ourselves like a little bit of an embankment here. That's a theoretical possibility. And then with the curve tool, we would bring this guy up and in, kind of like that. Now that's an 18% grade. So that's getting a lot closer. That's getting a whole lot closer. If we take this out of here, and we now build this in from here, that's now a 10% grade. So we can do that, and then we can have this off-ramp be rebuilt, and hopefully we can actually pull this off. It's giving overlapping items up over here. I think we're on the wrong height. No, we're not. Okay. That's not the wrong height, but it is giving overlapping items. Exciting. There we go. Now it's working correct-ish. So we can build it something like that. Now, that's not the exact angling that I want it to be at, but that is a proof of concept that we can build it where I want it to go. Approximately where I want it to go. So yeah, that gives us overlapping items up here. So we need to find the location where it previously allowed us to build that. I'd like it to be up here. Okay, now it's letting me do that. Cool. So with that selected, now we'll move back over here and look to bring this in down this way. That's slope too steep at an 18% grade, but we could put it in over here. It does kind of break the highway up this way, though. So that's definitely not ideal. Not ideal at all. Let's try building it up this direction. And seeing if we can get it to come in over here. Okay. Do we need to remove this side and build it out here first? It's giving just overlapping items every time. Okay. So this is currently a bridge down over here, and we may not want that to be the case. That could be causing some of these problems. So we could do something kind of like that with Madison Street. Then, like I said, this is going to be the awkward one. Then we can bring this guy out. It really doesn't want to build it out over here. Like, really, really badly. So what we can do then is use the terraforming tools, and we can just soften this terrain here a little bit. Something like this. And just try to clean up what we've created a little bit here in terms of terraforming mess. There's definitely a little bit of terraforming mess there. And then bring this guy out over here. Overlapping items. It really doesn't want to build it on this side. Like, it really doesn't want to build it on this side. But we can do it from this angle, which is odd. If we go like this, I think I see what the problem here is. It's this set of pillars right here. Okay. Because it's trying to change the altitude of the overall highway. So if instead we had the pillar there, then that should allow us to do what we want to do. I think, in theory. It's giving overlapping items. But then it, for a moment there, it was okay with it. What is it even trying to do here? Hang on. That's bizarre. I guess I see what it's trying to do. Sure, but that's not what I want it to do. That's definitely not what I'm going for here. So I think the problem is that there's just such a severe drop-off on this side, right? And that's not shocking that that's the issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock back the highway over here, and we're going to redo the terraforming over here yet again. So we're going to grab the level terrain tool, and we're just going to level all of this out over here. About like that. And this is, of course, a little too much. So we're going to soften that down over here, softening it down over here as well. So it's going to end up being something kind of like this. That should make things work a little bit better. So then we can rebuild this section of highway with snapping back on. So we rebuild this section of highway. It connects in right like that. The pillar is... It's not actually having any pillars at all here. Right, because it's not actually elevated in some of these areas. So things get kind of awkward here. No doubt about that. We can remove this entire section of highway. And we can use our level terrain tool to level out all of these areas. Is that going to get awkward? Yes, obviously. Obviously that's going to get awkward. But we can do that for now. Then we can rebuild the highway through here yet again, this time with it being, in theory, at the actual level we want it to be. So we can build that out at an exact 90-degree angle, which it really doesn't want to do. I'm going to turn off snapping to existing geometry, and we're going to put it there. So then this one should end up going right here. With this one going... This is not 180 degrees. This has got a small curve to it, doesn't it? Maybe it was just the angle I was looking at. Yeah, it's just the angle. Okay. So something along the lines of that. Unfortunately, we have decided to plant a pillar right in the middle of Aspen Street's sidewalk. I don't love that. So we're going to try this area again. This is definitely the awkward area. No doubt about that. And we can put this right like this. That works better. Okay. Now, Madison Street is a bit of a problem, I think. But we can take a look and see if we can build this. I would be a little surprised if we can. So that would need to come up over here. That's giving slope too steep. Deeply unsurprising on that one. So at this point, I want to take Madison Street out of here. I did not mean to delete that section of highway, but okay. We can take Madison Street out of here, leveling out this area here, like that. Madison Street would then connect in like this to about here. And actually, that should be not a one-way. There we go, something like that. Then we rebuild our highway section that we accidentally deleted. I don't think I nailed the positioning on that. Okay, so we bring that in over here. We're getting overlapping items here. Oh, because we're in curve tool. No wonder. Hang on, I want this right here. And then that's 178 degrees. I guess it's close enough. We can do something kind of like that. It's not perfect, but sometimes concessions have to be made here. So let's see what we can do as far as an on-off ramp over here goes. Easy peasy. Now, these are really going to have to be turned around. Oh, that's awkward. That's awkward.
Does anyone see my keys?
Okay.
Keys.
Turn it around and turn it around. There we go.
Oh.
So now we need to try to
that
connect
is,
this road back up.
I just lost
I don't know how that's going to go.
I'm
We might
sure
need to
they'll-
elevate this section of road.
Brown
This is
down
probably
fucked up
too
down
steep,
here.
right? Yeah, that's way too steep. So I think that we need to take out this section of road,
Don't steal
and
my
then we
car.
need to bring it
Old
up
Hornbuckle-mobile, please. Oh,
and
right.
curve it
Here we
about
are.
like
Well,
this,
never mind then. Thank you for listening to Second Moon.
and then just bring it in about like this. That's getting an invalid shape, slope too steep. Okay, so we can take this section out of here. can we now move this guy straight in? No, that still sloped too steep. Okay, I'm not shocked about that. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to remove all of these bits of road here. What I'm going to do now is we're going to continue this terraformation. I'm trying not to affect the actual shape of the river too much, but something along the lines of this. There we go. And we just clearly need this area to be higher, right? So I'm going to bulldoze these objects for the moment, and we can just crank that up as well in terms of its altitude. Then we're going to need to bring up this road. So how can we end up going about bringing this road up? Well, it could go about like this. That is a theoretical possibility. And then from here, it can go up to about here. And then it can come down not quite that far. It can come over like this. And then it can try to make its way under here. However, there are pillars right there. So what we may end up having to do is curve it out like that around the pillar. Okay, now I'm not 100% certain about this situation here. That's quite a grade, and are we going to be able to connect in over here? That is now the question. The answer to that is actually that's not a bad grade. It does come in as an invalid shape. And overlapping items. So that's not super shocking. What altitude are we on? Okay, what if we had this cut in like that? That works. Okay, so we have those roads connected. Now can we connect this road here? I want to set that correctly. 180, there we go. And then we bring this road in. Just like that. Okay. One more road. This one over here. I don't expect it to be a difficult road. And there we go. Beautiful. Now, I think we're not going to have an off-ramp over here. I think that does not make any sense to have a ramp on this side. There's just not space for it. But what we can do is we can put in... Let's see, this will be an off-ramp over here. So that'll end up going... This is a little too far, I think. That'll end up going something like that. Okay. We could, I suppose, have a ramp that goes out over here and then connects in. I don't know if that would look good at all, but we could try it. So it would end up coming over like that, right? Except it would connect in over here. No, I don't think there's any reason to do that. I think that we just leave it like this and call that good. There's just no exit over here due to the river. I think that's fine. And with that, these two are finally done, and we can start working on the zoning over here. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to get the zoning done over here now that we've got this awkward area dealt with. And this is going to be another awkward area. We'll see how we want to handle that one, but really, we might just omit all of the on-off ramps over here and just have them here, here, here. That might be the best way forward. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.